Good evening. Welcome to Teignmouth in Devon. So as you may know from last week's vlog, I'm on a holiday down here with the family, and we're talking about doing a sunset for a little while. We've been back watching the Olympics actually most nights, but today we're just kind of felt like I might want to do a sunset, and I don't think it's going to be spectacular, but it's been so hot today that what's happening is you've got this lovely sea mist just hanging around in the distance, which has the effect of blending in the sea and the sky, and the horizon becomes non-existent. A bit like the fine art stuff that you see photographers do. So I've walked along these steps here. You can see the tide's going out, but it's still in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to photograph the lovely pier with some drawings, and then we'll process these really delicately. Hope you enjoy the vlog. So you can see the composition pretty much. We've got two little groins sticking out here, another one here, which will appear more and more as the tide goes out. And then this lovely curve set here, and there's the pier. Sun is behind us, but what it is doing is a little bit of pink in the sky there. And we've also got one of these wonderful marker buoys, which I really loved. Very kind of fine art, minimalist kind of stuff. So I've got the 24-200 on, just sitting down the steps. What a lovely, beautiful, peaceful evening. It's so busy though. There's people everywhere swimming. We've had paddle boarders out, canoes, there's been people rowing boats, there's been sailing going on, people swimming. It's just been a hive activity, but it's been wonderful. Everybody having a really good time. It's been lovely. So let me shoot this first one and I'll talk you through it. And then I'll put the picture on. Let's have a look at this. So that's roughly the composition. More on the second step up, because the first step up looks extremely slippery. Just want to be careful with the camera. I can blend out this step on the bottom left hand side of this. So that looks really good. I think what we're going to need is a polarizer just to take away the glare. Although I do want to make this quite high key. Quite nice. I might expose to the right a little bit with the histogram on this. And then obviously what I need is a longer exposure. At the moment I've got an 1/8 of a second, and I want to go something like at least a second or so, just to smooth this water, maybe even longer. So we're going to grab the ND filters, put them on the front, and we'll have a little look. Actually, let me just take you into the camera, because what actually is going on here, if I put the polarizer on, it's kind of killing the atmosphere a little bit. So that is with the polarizer on. You can see that I can take away the glare a little bit, but actually to make that really dark, it's going to kill the mood. It looks so much better like that. I hope you think, I hope you agree. So all I'm going to do with this is put on a neutral density filter just to darken or just to slow the shutter speed down, but I want to make this really high key and really delicate. And that works. So I've gone with, in the end, an 8-stop neutral density, which has given me 10 seconds at f11, which looks like it's going to work perfectly. I was thinking originally, and I might still do it, getting these lovely seaweed covered, these green steps in as a bit of foreground. It might distract, I think it could do. I think I'm probably going to go with the straightforward one, which is just going to be the post on the corner there, these two, and then the pier, because the sky behind looks really delicate. So I've used the histogram for this, and I've pushed the histogram right to the right hand side to get it looking very delicate, very high key, very subtle, very kind of calm and peaceful. That horizon is completely disappeared now, so it's a fine art piece. I don't need to do anything to it at all. So I'm going to do one more shot, I think, with the green steps in, and then I'm going to carefully move over and see if we can't get to the beach and do something a bit closer. I might put on the 1430 at that point, because it'll give it that wide angle dramatic look with some of the groins. Got about half an hour left to sunset, so plenty of time. Right, I'm going to move on now. I've just taken one with the green steps in. I've taken that portrait, so I've lost these other groins out here. So the image is kind of cropped where my hand is pretty much. I've also, though, taken one by zooming in of, we're going that way, of these groins, and I've done an image with those and this little marker buoy or marker post. And I've also done another one just with these guys on their own. So that'll be really interesting. I'm going to lighten up the post a little bit. It's going to be a really interesting fine art piece, I think. Well, both 10, actually that was a 15-second exposure. So looking really good. Some better colour in the sky now. So what we're going to do now is move closer in to the pier. People will stop shouting. Closer into the pier, wide angle, and we'll see if we can't get something looking really nice of the pier itself. Right, let's hope I don't slip over. So I'm on the beach and trying not to make that classic mistake of standing in the composition, but really fascinated by this old, what it is, groins I guess, and it's got this post that's stuck in the side of it, covered in seaweed. So I put the 14 to 30 on, and I'm going to get really, really wide with this. There's also the building on the edge of the pier. It's got like a red end, looks very rusty, which I absolutely love. There's some starlings flying about, but they're going to be so small and they're going to be blurred anyway with a 10-second exposure. But I have thought about maybe doing a fast shutter speed one. But there's not enough starlings really to make that worthwhile. So again, the light is fantastic, it's so subtle. Sunset is behind me, it's over that way. And I do think there is another bit of the harbour. But I've left it too late now, and actually some light appearing on the railings there, so I think we're going to get some light on the end of this here, which could look really lovely. So let's get this set up and I'll talk you through the position. Beautiful. Right, first test shot is done. Be careful, by the way, you'll see my bag there. But actually, that works okay because I know the tide's going out. But I have had a situation where the tide has been coming in. Then be careful where you place your bag. So let's have a look at this position. Camera's here. We've actually got two of those posts, look, which are quite nice. I'm about there, but actually, I think really, I'd like to do that, because if I do that, I've now got a triangle going on here, which I think will look better. If I show you back down where the camera is, that is flat, that is flat, and then there's just a big gap in the middle. So just by moving the camera upright, I've now got a much more dynamic composition. Also want to get a bit of the sky in. So let's raise the tripod up. I shoot this again. 10 seconds still is working. What a beautiful pier it is though. When I lose my mojo, I tend to go to Southwold. The Southwold pier is beautiful because it's so delicate and the buildings catch the light. And this one is absolutely wonderful. It's obviously made of metal, but the posts themselves are really thin and really delicate. It looks really, really lovely, very Victorian. So let's get the camera up and shoot this before we lose the light. I really love that. Working really well, this composition. I'm really happy with this. I've actually gone 14mm, and what I've done therefore is got these groins in here. I've got this big gap in, so it looks like the groins start here. I could actually just crop this out and just get rid of it, which would be interesting. And also these two posts, I'm looking down on one of them, and then we've got obviously the end of the pier, and the sky looks good, but I think the sky might get even better. So what decision I've got to make is one of two. I can either move to the other side of the pier because there's some interesting compositions over there I quite like, or I just stay here and wait now. And I think it's going to be the latter. I think I'm just going to wait. I might do another one of the pier just as a fine art zoomed in picture of the pier, but that might look interesting, of that lovely red hut there. So maybe I'll do that while I'm waiting for the sun to come completely set, because I think when it sets, I think the top of this clouds, this high cloud level, is going to really light up. It's going to be a lovely image, I think, so probably definitely worth waiting. Got it set up really nicely now as well, so I'm reluctant to move. I've got the top of this nearest groin just this side of where the sea is coming up, so got a little bit of separation as well, for those elements have to work, and at the moment that's all perfect. So temptation is in these situations to go and get some more pictures, but as you take more photographs and as you spend more time as a landscape photographer, the more you learn, I think, to just wait. One or two great images better than 7 or 8 okay images. I think we'll wait. So hopefully this one's going to look alright. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's coastal photography escapades. I love Teignmouth, it's really lovely. The sky hasn't really kicked off, but there's a little bit of light showing now, so it still might look good. I've gone really wide angle now, 20-second exposure, hoping to get something. I'll put these on the screen now for you to have a look at. So thanks ever so much for tuning in. Next week I'm hoping to be doing some more coastal photography where I'm looking for some jagged rocks in the sea. I've been tipped off by Colin Powell, so thanks Colin. I'm going to go and check out the location. It's not far from where we're staying, so that hopefully is going to work out really well. So tune in next week to see if that goes as planned. But these actually really quite nice. I think these are lovely. I really enjoyed this evening. It's lovely being on the coast. I love it to see so many people enjoying themselves. Until next week, Sunday 6 o'clock. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Goodbye.